solid bone here. So I lift up the fin. Right here, you're gonna feel a little notch. So I put the blade of my knife right underneath that notch, cut from the top, underneath it, and down. So this is called the collar or the kama. So this can be salted and broiled or whatever. We're gonna put in a Ziploc bag and put in our freezer and collect it there. Okay, I'm gonna turn this over. There's the top half of the hamachi, which is the back loin. The bottom half is where all the fat is. It's the bottom loin. Because it's curved this way, this is the correct angle for a left-hander to attack this, but I'm a right-hander, so I usually cut this way. Okay? So you start from the tail, just above the center line. You're gonna cut through using the tip of the knife to cut through the skin, and then I curve a little because the bones curve this way. I'm curving my knife underneath the bones just to come out that way. Okay. Use the tip of my knife to just get through the skin here. Okay. So this is going to be the bottom half. This is the top half. Okay. So to remove the skin, take your knife here, just go under the back of the fillet here. The back or the tail end of the fillet has a lot of connective tissues, so we're really not worried about the meat in the back here. Have your knife parallel to the cutting board. Okay, this is really slippery because it's oily. If you don't want to grasp it, you can put a little cut mark here. Put your finger in the cut mark so you can hold onto the skin. Okay, and then just slide your knife forward. Skin should come right off. Nice. Okay. This is a little bit of the fat from here. You can see we didn't cut through. So this is ready to go. Now, even though it's ready to go, we still have to feel. There's still a little pin bone here on the backbone. So I'm gonna just come right on the inside of the pin bone.
You wouldn't want to just pull it out with tweezers?
No. These go all the way down and you're gonna end up tearing the flesh because the flesh is very fatty. So if you see here, if you can feel in here, you can feel the pin bone in there. Okay? I'm going to remove just this little bit of connective tissue where the fin was located. Okay? And now this gets cut into two. This is the front half. This is going to be for sashimi. This is for the front part of the platter where you want to see the beauty of it. This is for the underlying part of the platter. This is what we call the filling. So in other words, we make our sashimi platters by putting all the not so good pieces on the bottom, and then we put all the nice pieces on top of it, so we have volume, okay? When you're ready to do this side here, I like to usually skin it before I take the belly off, because I find it a little easier. Or if you find it more difficult, you can then take the belly off first and then do the skin. So if you're gonna take the belly off first and do the skin, these bones here are really long, so they're hard to get underneath of it. So if you want, you can just sort of crack through them first. Okay, you hear the crack? Okay, so you can crack through them first. And then you can use just the tip of your knife here, and we want to just skim the surface of the belly here. Okay. There are bones here, so you want to use the tip of your knife just to ride the bones. So the bones curve right into the belly portion here. So this is just removing the bone section. Okay, so we're going to remove this belly portion here. This is the super fatty area. Later on, we're going to remove this skin and remove this skin. This was, because it's so thin, this is going to be cut into the roses. Okay, so let's just remove this little bit of bone back here. Just like in the ahi when we made the roses, we're going to make the roses from this thin portion here. Okay, and just like we did with the first half, go ahead, take your knife. Okay, Good. Skin. Okay. Again, this is going to be for the bottom. This is for the bulk sashimi. This is for the presentation top layer of the sashimi. The loin and then the belly. Okay. This one here, normally what I do is because it's a little weird and it's very difficult to take this top connective tissue off. I take the skin off first. Okay, and then I turn it over, and then I do the same thing, but I do it this way because it's easier to cut through it than to take the connective tissue off from the opposite direction. Just a little bit here. Now this one here, very oily, so just be very careful. Okay, do you see all these fine blood vessels here on the bottom? I really don't like to cut into them because this discolors the meat. You folks see that? Okay, so this is the last one here.
Chef, are these deep water fish?
Yes, cold deep water fish.
That's why they're so fatty.
That's why they're so fatty. Okay, so now from this side here, again, I cut on this nice little angle. Thin piece first. Thicker piece next. Thicker piece next. Thicker piece next. 5. Usually I think 6 petals are nice. Okay, so again, for this garnish here, start in the center. Spin around. Spin around. Spin around. And this one is a little nicer because it looks like it's a pink and a white rose because of all the little discolorations with the bloodline. Okay, and then that's your hamachi rose garnish. Okay, so all these small little end cuts, we save it for the garnish, and you can still put it on the platter. There are people who will pick it up and still eat it as well because they don't want to waste it. But then on one half you have what we call, these are the bedding layers, and then these are the presentation layers. And then you have just this nice belly here for the garnish there. Okay, any questions?